blessing and honor, strength and glory and power be to you, the only wise King. Yeah. Holy, holy, holy is the Lord God Almighty, who was and is to come. With all creation I sing praise to the King of Kings. You are my everything, and I will adore you. And there's one more verse. Filled with wonder, awestruck wonder, at the mention of your name. Jesus, your name is power, breath and living water, such a marvelous mystery. Holy, holy, holy is the Lord God Almighty, who was and is to come. With all creation I sing praise to the King of Kings. You are my everything, and I will adore you. I will adore you. Amen. Just a little worship encouragement for you today in this midweek time together that we have. And it is not Wednesday, it's Thursday. Had an extremely busy day yesterday with hospital and doctor appointments. And anyway, today's a little bit more free time, and so wanted to take some time with you just to encourage you in God's Word and encourage you through that song. What a powerful song it is. But let me just read to you just for a few minutes here out of the book of Psalm. And it was just a wonderful word of encouragement that came to my mind this morning as I was reading. And it's out of Psalm chapter 40, beginning in verse 16. It's actually verses 16 and 17. And it says, "Let all those who seek you rejoice and be glad in you." I wondered this morning if you're one of those seekers of God. Are you a seeker of His heart? Are you a seeker of His salvation? Are you a seeker of His will? You know, the Psalm 40 is a wonderful chapter in David's writing, where he just pours his heart out and talks about how he waits patiently upon the Lord. And in that time of waiting, it's not just that I waited patiently and my waiting was over, but it's a waiting that is a constant waiting. Yesterday I had to take one of my boys to the doctor, and we sat in the waiting room and waited for a few minutes, and then took us back to the office and waited there for a few minutes, and then the doctor came in and then waited for him to do what he needed to do, and then we were able to leave. There was a waiting, and then it was over. Then there was another waiting, and it was over. And then there was another waiting, and then it was over. This type of waiting that this type of waiting that King David, I don't know why I want to say Apostle Paul, I've got his readings on my mind this morning, I guess, that King David is talking about is a ongoing waiting. We constantly wait upon the Lord, especially for those that are Christians, as we're here upon this earth, and we have hope in the Lord that He is returning again, and that we'll be able to see Him face to face one day. We're waiting on that. We're constantly waiting. Now, you might be in a trial today and you're waiting to be delivered out of it. And there may come a deliverance from that trial. And if there is, then that time of waiting is over. But a waiting is basically saying that we depend upon God. We hope in the Lord. He is our refuge. He's our strength. He's our salvation. And so when we say we seek after Him, it's something that we do every single day. We seek for Him. And He says, let all of those that seek after you, Lord, let them rejoice and be glad. You know, it might be in the time of waiting that you're seeking after Him. He says, be glad. It might be in a tremendous time of blessing that you're seeking after Him. He says, rejoice and be glad. It might be seeking for a specific calling or to do His will, to know exactly what His vision and His purpose is. He says to do so with rejoicing and be glad, because we know that He is going to fulfill that. We know that He is going to answer that prayer, and we know that He is going to bless us so that we may be a blessing to others. He then goes on and says, let such as love your salvation say